So, Steven Jackson, rapist, Charlamagne the God rape case guy that actually pled guilty and got away with it. We're gonna name you got away with it. So because I called two gentlemen that you can clearly hear on your podcast that they tapped somebody and said only one person was part of the trade. You mean to tell me you gonna purport the story the way that you see fit? You want to talk about a brother that I never met, that my father had children outside of his marriage, just like DJ Envy cheating ass? So I'm wrong because my father had a son at the time that I never met. So you gonna put out to the world that like I'm some killer. When I asked these gentlemen and they said they was joking. So now it's time to light your little rapist ass up too. We're gonna find that girl you raped, punk, allegedly. Matter of fact, we ain't gotta say alleged because you on the docket, bitch. So we gonna talk about you. Since you punk ass beta males that's on the Breakfast Club, DJ Envy, no neck having punk weasel ass, you just like the rest of them niggas lying all the goddamn time. And Charlamagne, you shut your punk ass up, nigga. Cause since when words became violent, you niggas taking too many marching orders from women. You dumb son of a bitch. In the definition of the word violence, it start with physical altercation, physical contact, not words, bitch. So I don't subscribe to that. So I'll see you in a minute to get violent on YouTube, you punk motherfucker. Y'all talking about somebody violent because they talking. They ain't violent when they saying they gonna come to Atlanta. They not violent. I'm the violent one. That's the message y'all want to put out. My daddy go to jail, so it's my fault. Bitch ass nigga, I told you. See how y'all want to tell the story? See people? See how they want to tell the story? A rose that grew through the cement. I don't got nothing to do with what my daddy did, bitch. I got my own hands, my own arms, and my own brain. And you got your own body and your own penis that allegedly you used.
So you see that was Charlamagne trying to paint out Kwame Brown to be some kind of like serial killer, Michael Myers type of figure. And this is what the media is doing. They want to switch the narrative because it's crazy how they're trying to paint out the man who was a victim of ridicule, who was bullied for 20 years. And now they're trying to flip the script and make it seem like he's the aggressor. He's the bully. But he really just speaking up for himself, you know? And it's like, how could you, and I know that when as a man, let alone a black man, when you go on a rant or you express yourself or you show some kind of passion, you might get a little loud, you get called hostile, you get called violent, mean, oh, he's being extra aggressive, you know, and this is coming off of the heels of Jamel Hill's goofy ass said that she once started that, oh, Kwame Brown was very violent this weekend. But violent how? Violence, like he said, the definition of violence starts off with the word physicality. Who did he put his hands on? Who did he touch? Who got beat up? Who got battered down? Stop it. But this is what they have to do because Kwame Brown is on a roll like I haven't seen somebody on a roll in a long time, and they can't control him. You see how restricted and how uncomfortable Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes are in their responses? They walking on eggshells. They can't really use certain words. Because that's what happens when you got Showtime employing you, cutting you big checks, and, you know, ESPN. Kwame Brown made millions of dollars, and he don't work for nobody. So there's a freeness and an unrestriction that he has that they can't control. They can't call up his boss and say, hey, man, y'all calm Kwame Brown. They can't call anybody to say, yo, tell that man to stop getting on Instagram and going in on us. Stop going in on us on YouTube. They can't control him. So all that they can do now is control the narrative, you know. And it looked like every time it seems like he's gonna just relax and not say anything, someone has to attach their name because it's almost like the 50 Cent promo, where at some point people started using him for promotion for their music and their albums and stuff. Like Vivica drops a book. Let me say something about 50 because I know he's got a big following and he's so petty he'll respond to anybody. You know, Rick Ross did it, a lot of people. So it's like it's an easy marketing tactic. Charlamagne wanted to get his name attached. You know, any publicity is good publicity. You say something about Kwame Brown, he's going to respond in 3 to 4 hours. Your name will be trending. And that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? And my stomping ground, South Carolina. Kwame Brown was raised really in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, Brunswick. He ain't even really, he might have been born in South Carolina, but his stomping grounds is really Brunswick, Georgia. So you're not affiliated with him, and what does that have to do with anything? His dad got a body, so what? What does that mean? You got mobsters that got plenty bodies. They kids is squares. His dad's reputation is supposed to haunt his reputation for the rest of his life. Get the fuck out of here, man. You know what I mean? But that whole he's being violent, that reminds me of when Gary Coleman was on Entertainment E! Tonight years ago when he had that fight with his wife, and Niecy Nash and these white women were antagonizing him. Oh, I thought it was gonna get violent. Niecy Nash even tried to threaten to spank him like a child, and Gary Coleman looked at that white lady and said, "Bitch, I hope you get hit by a fucking bus. I hope you get hit by a bus tonight." It's like, why can't a man just express himself without being angry, bitter, violent, mean? Oh, girl, you better get a restraining order on him. It might get out of line. And the fact that a black man is Charlamagne and envies bitch ass co-signed this. And it's like, how many times do these niggas on the Breakfast Club got to show us their true colors and we continue to listen and support that shit? But as Kwame was saying, Charlamagne had that rape allegation on his head just a few years ago. And I find it, and I've been saying this for a while because Charlamagne is affiliated with the Democrats. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Charlamagne know the right damn people. And that whole shit got swept under the rug. That whole shit got swept under the rug like it never happened. They don't talk about it. It was done finito. And it's crazy because he was one of Bill Cosby's biggest critics when Bill Cosby had that whole situation, and then turned around and somebody pulled a Bill Cosby on him with some old shit from 20 years ago. Like, oh yeah, remember when you did this? So, the tables turned on his ass too. It is what it is. But, Kwame Brown got receipts and he got facts, and that nigga ain't playing. It's like every time you sit there and say, well, man, maybe Kwame gonna fall back. Somebody got to bring their name and put their name out there, because it's like, okay, we know this brother can't be controlled. He's like a ravaged beast. The way the way that they describe him, he can't be tamed. He's just wild. They don't have no answer for Kwame Brown, and I love it, man. This shit is highly entertaining. And, Matt Barnes like, oh, man, you could come on the show. It's like, nah, for what? So it can give you publicity? So, so you can get another raise or another bonus at Showtime? Why? Why would he come do you a favor? And Matt Barnes needs to just stop, because you're not witty. You don't have the quick wit that Kwame Brown has. You're not going to out-talk shit Kwame Brown. You're just not. So just leave it alone. You know what I mean? But Charlamagne was out of pocket for that. You know what I mean? To try to describe this man as if Kwame Brown is the boogeyman of basketball. Now you got people looking at Kwame. This is how niggas get in trouble. I wouldn't be surprised if they were plotting on Kwame Brown right now. How do we get this guy to shut up because he's going too far? He's exposing way too much shit. Watch. They're going to try to set Kwame Brown up, because they can't. Like I say, he don't work for nobody. So you can't report to his employer and say, hey, man, can y'all talk to this? There's nothing that they can really do but to switch the narrative and try to control people's brains, because that's what they do. So it is what it is. I'm just glad to see the brother standing up for himself, and he ain't taking no shit from nobody, period.